Hey everyone, welcome back to yet another video. Today we are making picks for week 6 of the NFL season. Last week, I'm not even going to talk about it. This was a pretty bad one. But at least this was like a week full of upsets for the reason why it was like this. But we can only go up. Let's start off with the Philadelphia Eagles going up against the New York Giants. Honestly, this game should not really be that close. The Eagles this past week did lose to the Broncos 21-17, and the Eagles just cannot play full quarters. The Giants, they lost 26-14 against the Saints of all teams. So that's the reason why I say it's not really going to be that close. The Giants are not playing well. Jackson Dart has not played well so far. And it could end up being a little bit closer. The Eagles just not play full quarters, but I think the Eagles should be able to play relatively well in this game, so the Eagles win. Next up, we have the Denver Broncos going up against the New York Jets. The Broncos had that great win against the Eagles, 21-17. Meanwhile, for the Jets, they lost yet another game. They continue to only get points in garbage time. At this point, I'm probably going to expect maybe a little bit closer to the score between this game than what some people would realize because of those garbage time touchdowns. But at the end of the day, the Broncos are going to win this game. I don't see the Jets winning this one, and Broncos win. Next up, we have the Arizona Cardinals going up against the Indianapolis Colts. The Cardinals, what to say about the last week, man? They actually lost to the Titans 22-21. Like, what? Meanwhile, for the Colts, they ended up winning against the Raiders 40-6. I think this game is actually going to be the Colts. I could see the possibility of the Cardinals playing up to competition, but at the same time, the time that I say instead about playing up to competition before just ended up not being. That team just did not play like a winning game the week after. Well, they just didn't do well on defense. Anyways, I'm going to pick the Colts anyways. They should have the better offense in general. I just absolutely think that they should win. Next up, we have the Los Angeles Chargers going up against Miami Dolphins. These two teams are struggling. The Chargers losing 27-10 against the Washington Commanders last week. And this was after a 21-18 loss to the Giants. The Dolphins, they just blew a lead to the Panthers this past week, losing 27-24. Both these teams are struggling. Which one do I trust more? Honestly, I'm going to say the Chargers keep charging. I'm going to say the Dolphins win this game. They've just been playing better, even though they've been blowing it. They've just been playing better recently. So I'm going to pick the Dolphins here. Next up, we have the Cleveland Browns going up against the Pittsburgh Steelers. The Browns, they did all right in their loss last week. And they essentially only had a late game-winning touchdown allowed to the Minnesota Vikings. The Steelers, they were on bye, but the last time we saw them, they also faced the Minnesota Vikings, in which the Vikings tried to make a comeback on them, but they failed to do so. What I think is going to happen for this game is that Steelers is probably going to win. However, I think the Browns' defense and rushing game is going to make this game close. So, I wouldn't trust Dylan Gabriel all too much yet for this game, Well, once I see Dylan Gabriel do more, then I'll trust the Browns a little more. But for now, Steelers win. Next up, we have the Dallas Cowboys going up against the Carolina Panthers. The Cowboys just won against the Jets in a blowout fashion. And the Panthers, they won against the Dolphins 27-24 off a comeback. There's a chance this game could be pretty close. But I just trust the offense of Dak more, Dak and Pickens. And CD's probably still going to be out for this game, but keep a watch out for when he does come back, and this offense is going to be explosive. Next up, we have the Seattle Seahawks against the Jacksonville Jaguars. The Seahawks, they lost the game of the week pretty much of what actually would have been the game. It should have been the game of the week against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, 38-35. The Jaguars, they ended up coming back to having that game-winning touchdown off a weird play against the Chiefs and winning 31-28. I feel like for this game is generally pretty close to me. Because this is going to have a tight score. This is going to be one of those game of the week contenders. But I have the Jacksonville Jaguars winning this game. I think the Jaguars has consistently been able to have these game winners, at least close wins, to where I think they will actually pull off the win. Not that Seattle hasn't pulled off any wins. They are 3-2. However, against those tougher opponents, they did lose to the Buccaneers. They kept it close with the Cardinals. So I was high on the Seahawks the week past. I have to step down from my high on the Seahawks. Plus, apparently I haven't picked the Jaguars in a little bit to win, and the last time I did probably was the Bengals. So that's fun. Next up, we have the Los Angeles Rams going up against the Baltimore Ravens. The Rams, they lost to the 49ers 26-23. Meanwhile, for the Ravens, yeah, do we even have to talk about that one? Rams win. Honestly, there's not really much else to say with this one. The offense struggles without Lamar. The defense is just bad for the Ravens right now. It should be a no-brainer. The Rams win. Next up, we have the New England Patriots going up against the New Orleans Saints. The Patriots actually getting the win over the Buffalo Bills this past week, winning 23-20. And the Saints, they won against the Giants 26-14, I believe. Had a little bit of brain fault there. Anyways, for the Patriots, the offense has been doing good. The defense has been holding off people. The Saints, I don't know exactly what to say. I think they're just mid both ways because, I mean, you did allow the Giants to have 12, but at the same time, it's the Giants. Well, 12, 14, whatever it was. Meanwhile, 26 against the Giants is not really that great of a amount anyways. I'm going to pick the Patriots. They all overall the better team. And good thing you got that win, Saints. Next up, we have the Tennessee Titans going up against the Las Vegas Raiders. The Titans, yeah, they arguably should have lost that game. Yet the Cardinals let them back in. There's a whole fumble touchdown. There's all that, and just the Cardinals fumbling at the 1 yard line, all that kind of stuff that can happen in the Titans' favor. Anyways, the Raiders, they lost to the Colts 40-6 in a game that was ugly, but at the same time, it's been the Colts, and they've been absolutely dominant so far. I wouldn't say the Raiders win this game. The Titans has been playing worse than the Raiders. I have more confidence that the Raiders would beat the Titans than that the Titans would beat the Raiders. Geno Smith probably won't throw an interception this game. If he does, I don't know what to say at that point. Raiders win. Next up, we have essentially the only good game of the 3:25 slate. The 3 o'clock slate. The 49ers and the Buccaneers. The 49ers ended up winning against the Rams. The injured version of the 49ers still ended up winning against the Rams 26-23 this past week. The Buccaneers, they won against the Seahawks 38-35. At this point, I feel like the Buccaneers should absolutely win this game. I think this is going to be a bit closer since even an injured 49ers team could beat the Rams. I think an injured 49ers team could at least keep it close with the Bucs. But the Buccaneers is pretty good. Their secondary is a little bit troublesome, but I do think that the Bucs should absolutely win this game. Next up, we have the Cincinnati Bengals going up against the Green Bay Packers. The Bengals actually kept it a little bit closer than what we thought against the Lions, and is only losing 37-24. The Packers, the last time we saw them, tied the Cowboys. Yeah, let's just say the Packers win, and it's going to be closer to what people expect. The Packers has just not played well ever since their game against the Commanders. Losing to the Browns, tying the Cowboys, that's generally not a good sign for in the future weeks here. I do think the Packers should be able to win this game. It's against the Bengals, who might be starting Joe Flacco now, but yeah, the Bengals are just a mess to where the Packers absolutely have to win this game. Next up, we have the Detroit Lions going up against the Kansas City Chiefs. The Lions winning 37-24 against the Bengals. It was a little bit closer than what I expected, but Lions pulled off the win, and things are good there. The Chiefs, they ended up losing to the Jaguars 31-28. Yeah, let's just say that the Lions should win this game. I think after this game will be when the Chiefs are officially back. Because Rashee Rice will be able to play games again after this week. So watch out for that. I think I absolutely will pick them against the Raiders. As if the Raiders don't blow out the Titans. I'm just going to keep that there. But yeah, Lions win. Next up, we have the Buffalo Bills going up against the Atlanta Falcons in the first of 2 Monday night games. The Bills, they ended up losing in 23-20 against the Patriots, which at this point the Patriots are a pretty good team. The Bills have not really been playing all too great for an undefeated team before this week. Yeah. They're going up against the Atlanta Falcons, who won against the Commanders. This is the last time we saw them because they were on the bye last week in 34-27. I do think I don't necessarily trust the Falcons enough to pick them against the Bills. I do think the Falcons have a chance, but I just don't trust them enough to pick them here. The Bills have not necessarily been playing great, but the Falcons have not entirely been that great either. So I'm going to pick the Bills here. And maybe the Falcons do end up winning. Finally, we have the Bears going up against the Commanders. Essentially, yeah, I'm just thinking about it already. The Hail Mary. The Hail Mary happened at this matchup last year. Who will win this time? Honestly, as much as I like the Bears, I feel like this is one of those games we would lose. The Commanders has been playing well throughout the past few weeks. in winning against the Chargers 27-10. They did lose to the Falcons the week before 34-27. Meanwhile, for the Bears, the only team we really been able to blow out or whatever is the Cowboys, who doesn't have that great of a defense. So I'm going to pick the Commanders here. I'd be absolutely happy if the Bears won still, but yeah, I'm picking the Commanders here. With that being said, please hit the like button if you liked the video, subscribe if you're new, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!